welcome to my channel. Today I am building this cottage, which is heavily inspired by a cottage that I found on TikTok. Unfortunately, I couldn't completely replicate it because, well, it's a Sims, you know. But I tried my best, and I also changed a few things on purpose because I just preferred it that way. Yeah, here you can see I struggled a lot with the wallpaper, trying to pick out the perfect one. But I think the one I ended up with looks pretty good, so yeah, I hope you will like it as well. Then there's of course the little door to the back, and we have this little turret on the side of the building, which will be the staircase. In the original build there's a spiral staircase. Since that is not possible in The Sims, I had to try to get stairs in other ways. Here you can see me picking out a lamp, which is hanging from the ceiling. I really like the look of it, like looking a little bit rustic and old. Oh yeah, I added this very big window, which is going to be the bedroom, and I think it looks quite magical. And of course the front door, putting different windows there with the patio. Yeah, and I was also trying to figure out how to do the roof. So it took me a couple of trials. The original footage is, I think, a little bit more than 5 hours long, so I had to speed up the footage. It is now 15 times speed, so this is why it might seem a little bit hectic. I'm sorry about that. I hope that is okay. But I wanted to shrink everything down to about 20 minutes. Here I am putting this on a bigger lot because I just ran out of space, and I also wanted to make everything a little bit bigger because while this is a small cottage, it still needs to fit everything. I don't think it is a tiny house, so yeah, but I didn't even try to make it a tiny house. Oh yeah, here you can see me struggling to try to put in the stairs. It took me quite a while to figure out how to do that. So you will see me trying over and over again. I changed the turret a couple of times. It took me a while to figure out how to do this. Yeah, at one point I thought maybe I would just skip the round walls thingy, and but I liked the way the turret looked, and then I just made it bigger, and then I shrunk it down again, so yeah, it was a whole process. And also making the upstairs bigger, of course, since now I have more space on this lot. I tried putting round walls on the top floor, but the trimming was clipping. Ignore that. Here is another attempt of me putting in the stairs. Here I shrunk down the turret again. Then I shrunk everything down to small wall height. I usually build with small wall height. In this case, I had the medium wall height on earlier because of the doors, but the stairs were just not working, so I had to switch it back to small wall height. But I think it looks a lot better with the small wall height. It's a cottage. A cottage is usually not that tall. Here I am adding a little sunroom, or actually a quite big sunroom. This is also in the original build. I wasn't quite sure if it fit the style because cottages usually have very few small windows, but I like the idea of having a room that is kind of, well, has a lot of natural light in it. So yeah, I did keep the sunroom, and here of course I'm adding a roof on top of it, which is made out of glass, and putting some trim. Yeah, I'm putting some beams on the top to make the glass roof a little bit more interesting. I used the base game shelves for this initially, but later on I've changed it again to the beams that you get in cottage living, because they were just a lot more three-dimensional because the shelves are very flat. And then of course adding some wallpaper and some tile. I also had a lot of trouble picking out the correct tile. I wanted to keep it close to the original, and the original has green leaves tile, but since we don't have that in The Sims, I just put these rocks in there. I think it looks pretty good though. Then I put a plant and a couch and a little mushroom stool. I thought that was really cute and really fit the cottage theme. I think it's even part of cottage living. I added kind of a second living room, or the actual living room area made like in the middle of the build, and I tried to pick out a rug which was big enough for this area. I ended up just putting 2 rugs overlapping on each other. And here you can see me do a little reading nook inside of the library. I will come back to that later and fix that. And this is the bedroom, obviously, since I've just added a bed. Yeah, and I put some nice wallpapers on the walls to make it a little bit more busy, a little bit more interesting. And I added these nightstands. And some lamps, which I put on the wall instead of on the nightstand, so there's still space for books or whatever you would want to put there. And here I changed the reading nook. I didn't like what I originally had with the chairs, looked kind of awkward. So I tried to build a built-in bench, and then later decided that this ottoman from Horse Ranch is kind of perfect for this nook. So I just put that and the pillow from the events rewards thingy that we had once. Yeah, I think everyone has that though, so if you didn't do it, it should be in your game either way, because it was the very first rewards thing that they did, so they added it to everyone's game later on. And yeah, I'm changing it again. I used these bookshelves from Realm of Magic. I think they fit quite well, but apparently I changed it again. And then I put another spandrel and another column there to separate the area a little bit more. Separating the kitchen part, which is in the front, because there's kind of a rounded entrance to the main part of the buildings. Here I went back to the Realm of Magic bookcases, because I don't know, they're just so magical. They just fit so well. And I filled everything with the cabinets from Horse Ranch. And I also used the Horse Ranch cabinets for the kitchen part, which I'm doing now. I tried to find a very, very big opening for the kitchen. I tried to build something with columns and spandrels. yeah, and here I'm doing the kitchen, adding a little picture above, and then on the other side some more kitchen, of course. I would usually not build a kitchen like this, like in the front entrance basically, in the way, and like split it up in two halves, but the original was this way, so I wanted to try it out because I never did this. Here I'm just making the ottoman a little bit bigger, so maybe more people can sit on it at the same time. I mean, how dreamy would that be, just reading with your bestie, sitting next to each other on this ottoman, surrounded by books, or maybe you're sitting in the sunroom. That might also be nice. I love how the light is just shining through there. Here you can see me adding the beams from Cottage Living. Then I shrunk everything down just a little bit because here I tried adding like a corner shelf thingy. Here I changed the sides of the stairs because I thought it would fit better, because I wanted it to be like right onto this wall. Here I am doing the bathroom. The bathroom has a walk-in shower. Unfortunately, I do not have high school years or love struck, so I was not able to put a real walk-in shower there, so I faked it. If you have these packs, you can of course change it. And then just putting in the finishing touches, some towels, and yeah, that's it for the bathroom basically. So I shrunk it down again after enlarging it twice. Yeah, I think it looks better when it's smaller. It was just hard to fit in the staircase this way, but I did figure out a way to do it. Of course, painting the ceiling, this is very important. Painting everything this brown wood tone. And changing the spandrel. Alright, here I'm just shrinking down the kitchen a little bit and changing the stairs again, just shoving everything over just a little bit to be able to shrink down the entire house a little bit. I then decided instead of the round fence, I would just work with the corners because it was just not working with the round fence. Oh, and then I added a little bump out so we could have some more windows upstairs and a little window seat. Here I'm just adding a little oven into the stairs. I thought it was a good use of the space to put something in the middle of it and just use that to heat the entire house. Here I am adding the little window seat with a pillow, of course, so you can get comfortable. Maybe you will sit on there when changing or something. Now I'm putting in some curtains, of course. I think this really finishes up the look. I hope you don't mind that they are clipping. Just ignore that. And adding a little chimney on top of the turret because of the oven that I put in there. Now I'm adding a little bit of terrain paint, some walkways, one from the back door to the garden area, and then one to the front door, of course. I tried to make it a little bit curvy, and I tried to take great care of erasing stones so they were just completely visible or completely invisible, because I don't like it when they're fading. I think it looks weird. Here I'm just decorating the kitchen a little bit, but of course I've also taken care to leave out a lot of space for the Sims so they can actually cook there. And I put a little picture there. And now I'm starting with the landscaping, just putting these low-lying bushes everywhere as a start, and then later filling the space up with a little bit of flowers and bushes. I also decided to put a big tree because I thought, well, a cottage just kind of needs to be in nature in my mind. So yeah, I just put that there. And here I'm adding a lot of wildflowers. I thought that fit the theme pretty well. I think this cottage kind of has a witchy vibe. If you would like to play with the spellcaster here, I think that would be a great place to play here. And then I've also added some planters in case you would like to grow your own food here or just plants in general. And of course some more landscaping and stones just to make it seem a little bit more natural, and of course then the terrain paint to finish everything up. I just like to put dirt underneath everything, since these places are in the shadow, there wouldn't be any grass growing there. So yeah, I just put a lot of dirt basically everywhere. I think it just makes it look a little bit more realistic. And then I'd put another stone path through the garden area because it was just looking empty. So I just wanted to put in a little bit more details, make it look a little bit more lived in and busy. Then I snuck in the little rabbit home so you could have some wildlife running around, and placed some stuff for birds as well. And since the front corner was still empty, I just put another tree there and a little bench where you could sit if you would like to. Yeah, and this is the finished result. Here you can see the cottage from the outside. Here's the kitchen. And then we can go over to the living room. Over there we have the reading corner and the sunroom, of course. And then upstairs we have the bedroom and of course the large bathroom. If you would like to download this build, you totally can. It is up on my gallery under the name of Yari Poo. If you like this video, be sure to look at my other videos and make sure you give this video a like. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you again soon. Bye!